Welcome back. Let's in this video we're going to talk about the exams and the assignments. They're two sides of the same coin, basically. The assignments prepare you for the exams. So if you're able to do the assignments, then you will do very well on the exams. Before I get to that, though, in the intro I talked about an app that you need to download. I think I skipped it in the syllabus video, so I want to reiterate that in the exam video. Right here, required, you must download this now, either on your mobile device or on your computer. Download this sooner than later. This is how I will communicate to the entire course with announcements, and I will also ask extra credit questions. So please do that. So you will be getting once you download this, you will also be getting an invite from me. So accept that invitation so you could be part of this. It will be required. You will be, it'll be to your detriment, let's just say that, if you don't have this. All right. So enough with that. Let's get to the exams. All right. Okay, the exams. So I think it's best to navigate through the sidebar menu. And again, I said this in the intro, so if you didn't actually see the intro, it's if you have an option, use your PC computer or your Mac computer, right? Relying on your mobile device, the way the app is set up in Blackboard, they need to do a lot more work on their app. Whoever designed it put it together in a hurry, it looks like. So if you don't have an option, you could probably figure it out, but the onerous will be on you to make sure you're not missing anything, or overlooking or anything, or assuming anything in this course. So please make sure that you're very aware of this. Okay, so let's go to Unit 1. So again, if you open up Unit 1 and it looks like this, there's a problem. You want to open it up and make it look like, oh, how do I get back there? Oh no, jeez, how do I do this? Oh, I see what happened. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is these little devices right here. I'm gonna, you can close this up, you can make it big, you can make it small, right? So it's all right here. So always it opens up with the schedule, and again, these are expiration dates, which means that all of the assignments are open now, and the exams and the discussion posts. You can post early, you can submit your assignments early, you can take the exam early, and I urge you to do so. Don't rush through things for the sake of rushing through things, but if you have the opportunity to submit or complete or post early, do so. If you wait until the last minute, that is exactly when everything goes wrong, right? You've all have experienced that. So even though this is a Summer 3 course and it's 10 weeks long instead of 5 weeks long, 10 weeks is still pretty condensed compared to 16 weeks. That extra month really does kind of help out. And so don't put yourself in a position to where you're getting behind. And plus, if you can get ahead a little bit, especially at the beginning of the semester, wow, so much the better for you. So much the better. Since everything is open, I mean literally everything is open from Units 1 all the way down to 3, you can conceivably get done with this course a couple weeks early. I would think that would be reasonable if you were to get done a couple weeks early in this course. And if you can get in that position towards the end of the semester, you can sort of afford to take a break. Right? You might find yourself a little bit ahead and a little bit tired, like everybody will be towards the end of the semester. And if you're ahead, well, maybe you could take a few days off. But if you've put things off, if you've procrastinated, you will not be able to afford putting anything off. You'll have to work double time throughout it. So work ahead if you're able to, especially at the beginning of the semester. All right, so Unit 1, Race, Gender, and Reform. Note that too, this class is thematical. It's not chronological. So in Unit 1, we deal with issues of race, gender, and political reform. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. So we're going to talk about Reconstruction, which happens from 1863 to 1877, and the next lecture is dealing with the Civil Rights Movement. And I do that because I want to make sure you understand when it comes to the issue of race in this country, I want to make sure you understand the direct connection between the events of the 19th century, Reconstruction, with that of the 20th century, and even into the 21st century of the Civil Rights Movement as it continues. We also have the West, Place or Process in here. That one on the surface of it might seem like it's in the wrong unit. Talking about the West, well, that's a place. The West really is America's creation myth. Right? This is where it all began, and this is the ideal of what it means to be an American, right? And also, when we talk about the West as a place, we are talking about people who specifically live there in the West, right? We could talk about Mexican Americans. We could talk about the Chinese that were brought to work on the railroads. In this lecture, we're specifically talking about Native Americans, and so we're looking at them as a people and that conflict between white America and Native Americans within this. And then the last lecture in here is women's suffrage. So looking at issues of gender and the challenges and the confrontations women faced from 1848 all the way to 1920 to earn something as reasonable as a constitutional guaranteed right to vote in this country. Down below here is the exam. So you'll click there, you scroll down, click there for the exam. If it doesn't open automatically, you click here and it will open up for you. Make sure when you are ready to take the exam, you're opening up in Lockdown Browser. If you have not downloaded Lockdown Browser, push pause and do so now by clicking this link right here. Right here is a quick tutorial. The tutorial talks about Moodle, but everything applies. It doesn't matter. We're using Blackboard, obviously, but even if we were using Moodle, everything in that video still applies. Let's see, and again, we talked about this in the last video, but if you are trying to open up an exam and it's asking for a password, ignore it. The password is being in Lockdown Browser. But if you are trying to click begin and it's not letting you and there's a password it's asking you for, that means that you are not in Lockdown Browser. It means you're either in Chrome or Internet Explorer or Mozilla or Safari, whatever browser you're using. You have to use Lockdown Browser to open up the exams. Down here is the discussion post. Right, just click that right there and open it up. Click this link right here and it should take you to it. Let's see what happens. Yep. So Unit 1, see if I can switch that around. But anyway, Unit 1 is right there. Click there, open up, and click reply. And I'll go through that in detail in the next video of what you're supposed to do there. You can check your grades, you can contact Distance Education, you can find out my contact information, basically my Gmail account through there. Okay, so let's start with Reconstruction. Real quick, I just want to make sure you understand how to navigate. Now, let's say about 95% of the lecture is going to work this way. The Civil Rights lecture is going to be a little bit different, and the Women's Suffrage lecture is going to be a little bit different, mildly different. The Civil Rights Movement, I'll take you through that. This one is the most notably different than all of the other lectures. But if you can understand the format of the Reconstruction lecture, then you will understand the format of about 95% of all of the lectures in this course. So when you click here, it will give you some information about what the essay prompt is. Each lecture comes with an essay prompt. And this lecture here, as most lectures, come with what are called learning objectives. Now, these aren't the learning objectives that are posted in the syllabus, so don't look at those. They're bureaucratic things. The learning objectives for the essay are very important to understand, so please take note. Hit rewind if you need to. Push pause if I'm going too fast. Real important that you understand this. It's not too difficult to understand this, but it's important that you understand this as soon as possible. Each learning objective basically is a component of the essay. A learning objective, and this will make sense in just a little bit when we go through it, but a learning objective is basically the introduction. All of the learning objectives collectively is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So learning objective 1, this is basically the introduction to this essay. And then when we get down to learning objective 5, that is the conclusion of this essay. Each learning objective will roughly, generally, give you enough information to construct a 4 to 5, 6, 7 sentence paragraph, right? Each lecture essay will come out to about a 5 to 8, sometimes up to 10 paragraph essay, right? A standard college essay. So make sure you understand that. I offer the PowerPoint right there, so take note of that. Don't rely solely on the PowerPoint. It's quite obvious when students do that. They usually struggle throughout the semester, but it's helpful just to have it kind of there with you. Maybe print it out and have it there with you when you're taking notes. You can use that maybe as the basis of some of your notes there. But basically, this is just basically telling you exactly everything that's involved in this. Right here is just a quick introduction. I recommend always, most of the lectures will have a little introduction. I just kind of go over the main themes and kind of navigate through it. When you're ready to begin preparing for this particular lecture essay, you just scroll down here, right? Go down to 1, Roman numeral 1. Discuss the 2 constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction, right? So you're responding to that prompt right there. You're going to write, probably as it indicates right here, at least 1 paragraph. Let me emphasize at least. Sometimes it could be more than 1 paragraph. And some of these learning objectives will say at least 2 paragraphs. So when it says at least, that's a guideline to you that if you aren't writing a full paragraph for this particular learning objective, if you've only written 1 or 2 sentences, that's kind of a nudge to you to say, maybe go back to the information to see if there's more you could put into it. Most lectures, including this one, for at least this particular learning objective, will come in 2 mediums. It'll have notes and it will have a recorded lecture. Now, there is information in the recorded lecture that is not in the notes, and there's information in the notes that is not in the recorded lecture. So I recommend referring to both mediums, both the notes and to the lecture. And starting with the notes, so let's go ahead and click the notes, open it on up, and here's learning objective 1, right? Same prompt. Make sure it's the same prompt. If it's mislinked, let me know. That's always possible. Not my intention, but it is possible. So if you open it, if you're trying to respond to this learning objective right here, discuss the 2 constitutional theories, and you click this and you open it up and there's a different learning objective in there, email me. Something went wrong, right? Sometimes I'll have a little quiz in there that's for your benefit. It's help if you can respond to that quiz, you probably have a good solid foundation of what is entailed within this learning objective. So I recommend doing it. Always, won't always, but sometimes you'll see some supplementary material. So feel free to consult that to help you respond to any of the learning objectives. This is enough information here between all these learning objectives to respond to the entire essay. Here again is the recorded lecture, and down below are the notes. So let's go down right here. All right, not too long. This is a short learning objective. So this here, you want to go through it and get yourself enough information to write probably a 4 to 5 paragraph, let me repeat that, a 4 to 5 sentence paragraph, right? That'll be your first paragraph for this particular lecture. Okay, when you're done with that, then you go to learning objective 2, and boom, there it is, right? Same thing, right? There's some notes right there. You can click that, and there's the notes. so on and so forth. This is good supplementary information. Use this to kind of go through. If there's videos in here, always recommended, but these are the actual notes and the text here that are basically associated with the lecture. But I often will put videos in here just to give you some additional information that will put these lecture notes into context. So if you have the time, I do recommend watching those videos, and you might find some information that you could put into the essay. And if I see that, it'll be definitely a trigger to me to go, wow, that student is not only responding to the entire learning objective, but they're putting additional information in there that demonstrates to me that they really have a handle on this material. All right, so on and so forth. There's learning objective 3, there's learning objective 4, there's learning objective 5, right? Now this one's a little bit different. It's just a video. So you want to watch this woman's lecture, Michelle Alexander, the author of The New Jim Crow. And what this lecture is basically kind of upstates the ongoing challenges, the legacy that's made it quite challenging for the United States to deal with issues related to race in this country. And it's not just a black-white issue. This is everybody who's implicated in this. So the things that she's talking about are specific to African Americans, but it implicates everybody. So that's, and then when you're ready, when you're prepared, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the essay assignment right here, right? And I recommend so you could put it in here. I don't recommend doing that because if some students say that they'll prepare it, will type up their thing right here. I don't recommend doing that for the assignment because if Blackboard goes out, then you'll lose your material. So write up your responses to each learning objective, learning objectives 1 through 5. Some students actually label the learning objective, and that's fine. Learning objective 1, and they put the response underneath it. Learning objective 2, and they put the response underneath it. So on and so forth until they get to the last learning objective. You could do that if it's helpful to you. I don't require it. I know what I'm looking for, so if the information for each learning objective is there, that's fine. But if it's helpful to you for organization purposes, by all means, copy and paste the learning objectives and put your response underneath it. So you'll browse it, and you'll submit it. Let's see, where would there should be I'm not sure why it's not there, but let me check real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna push pause. Okay, there it is. View rubric. Definitely utilize this, right? And so if you can, I'm pretty sure you probably could, print this out. Let's see, can you? Print, yes, print. So print this out. And have it with you. Basically, it lets you know exactly how it is that I will be grading your assignment. So, like if, for example, if you just don't do learning objective 1, then obviously you don't get any points for that. If it's underdeveloped and you've only written maybe 1 or 2 sentences, then you're probably not going to get very many points for that, as it's indicated here, right? You'll get anywhere from 0 to 14%. Here, you know, sufficiently developed is a pretty big range. You'll get anywhere from 14 to 2.2 to 16.8%. And that's in relation to the entire paper. And then if it's thoroughly developed, this is where you'll be getting 17 to 20% for that particular learning objective, right? And so on and so forth until you get down through all the learning objectives. So use that rubric. It'll be very helpful to you. Now, when we get to let me just show you real quick. Yes, I'm not going to submit that. Let me just show you the civil rights movement real quick. It's watch this video. That's all I'm going to say. Watch this video, and it will tell you how this one is different. This one is going to be notably different than all of the other lectures. Sorry to do that to you right at the beginning of the semester, but alas, I have no choice but to do this to you guys. But if you watch this video, it's just a 5-minute video. It tells you very specifically how this one is different. And that's all I'll say about that because I'm already spending way too much time talking to you about the exams. But it's important. It's real important that I do that. I want to make sure you guys understand the expectations of this course thoroughly before you get involved in it. No need to guess in this course. All right, so when you've gone through the civil rights, and you've submitted the essay assignment for that, and you've gone through the West, and you've gone through all the learning objectives for the West, and this one is exactly the same format as Reconstruction. You're going to submit the essay assignment for that. And women's suffrage, same thing. You're going to submit the essay assignment, which will be located right here. I have to do that right now. I'm still developing this course. So then you're ready to take the exam when you've gone through all 4 of these lectures. So you'll click the exam, and if it doesn't open up, you'll click here, and you'll click begin, and away you go, right? And if it doesn't open up, that means you're not in Lockdown Browser, right? And if it asks you for a password, if you are in Lockdown Browser, you could ignore it. You could ignore it and just click begin. If it doesn't allow you to ignore it, that means you're not in Lockdown Browser. So right here, you're being asked, check it out, right? It's this exact same essay question as you saw at the beginning of this video. It's right from here. Yes, leave this page. So discuss the 2 constitutional theories that evolved around the question of Reconstruction within your discussion. Identify and describe the 3 phases of Reconstruction, so on and so forth. So it comes directly from, let's go back up here, right here. This essay prompt right here. So this essay prompt is what you're going to be asked to respond to. And again, if you have a response to each of these learning objectives, then you have your 5 to perhaps 10 paragraph essay as a response to this, right? So this is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion to response to this particular essay prompt. And all of the essays work the same way, except for this one. This one does. The only difference between this is it doesn't have learning objectives, but it does have an essay prompt, right? So you will never be blindsided in an exam by a question you've never seen before if you've gone through all of the content, right? All of the essays are available for you to see well ahead of the time. And so you'll complete that exam. It'll just be 1 essay. Exam 2 will have 2 essays, 1 from Unit 2 and 1 from Unit 1. Exam 3 will have 3 essays, 1 from Unit 3, 1 from Unit 2, 1 from Unit 1, and they will be randomly selected. I don't know which one's going to be selected, but they're all in the test bank, and so it's all random that'll be selected. Anyway, that was probably about 10 more minutes than I wanted it to be, but again, I'd rather be thorough than leave things out. So there you go. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys later. The next video is on discussion posts.